Hello, my name is Chieko, and I'm going to talk about the Japanese interpreting and how we work. There are about 20 Japanese interpreters in Europe at the moment, and we work slightly differently from other non-Japanese colleagues, and I think that's mainly because there are huge linguistic gaps, differences with non-Japanese languages compared with differences among European languages. For example, with simultaneous interpreting, we normally work in a team of 3 interpreters. One is working about 15 to 20 minutes each time, 20 minutes maximum, and always having one colleague sitting next to him, taking notes like mad. This is very important because Japanese numerical system, decimal system is different from European system, so it is absolutely important to take notes of numbers, also names and places, and therefore you could say that at any given time in the Japanese booth there are always 2 people working, one speaking and one taking notes. And talking about taking notes, I'd like to tell you a little about Japanese writing. Japanese writing can be done either horizontally or vertically, and if vertically written, a line always starts from the right side of the page and move to the left line by line, and horizontal writing is done just in the same way as Western writing from left to right. And I could show you some examples of my note-taking of consecutive interpreting. Good morning. Basically, we do use English and Japanese and symbols, figures, sometimes even drawings in note-taking. So that's, I think, the same as any other interpreters of any other languages. Risk, this is basically talking about foodborne diseases, and it's this risk. There are 3 risks related to foodborne disease. This means disease. And number one risk is, that means just one character, one part of the Japanese writing of temperature. So it is very clear that when I see this character that it means temperature, although it doesn't say temperature. Temperature for storage of food. And in Malaysia, too long, the food is kept for too long in ambient room temperature. In Italy, only 49% of food is kept in refrigerator. And the second risk is the consumers' awareness. And there's no link between health and food safety in consumers' mind, and that's the problem. In Nepal, 30%, for example, of foodborne, illnesses are believed to be caused by evil gods. And in the US, lots of people think that, 54% of people believe that salmonella is the only cause of food poisoning. So there are lots of problems. And the third point is the weight problem. In the US, 2 out of 3 people are overweight. That's a Japanese character meaning fat. But 80% of the people think that they have healthy diet. And that's another character meaning part of the meaning of developing country. but this is clear. So developing countries have a challenge. For example, large occurrence or incident of problems in factories and schools. In the Philippines, there was a conference with 30 people fell ill. In China, in factories, 70 people, and in India, at a school, 40 people. And just one more page. There are assemblies and weddings and festivals. There are lots of risks associated with these gatherings of large people of foodborne disease. In China, there's a recent incident of 300 people who came down with food poisoning at a wedding, and in India, 40 people at a festival. In terms of foodborne disease, when it's reported, that doesn't mean report this character, but it's clear to me. When it's written, it means that report. Reporting is only the tip of an iceberg. That's clear, hope, universal. And the data is also lacking in consistency. That means kind of consistency in Japanese. And I'm putting cross there, so there's no inconsistency. And surveillance and control are not properly linked. That's another problem. So this is just one example of the note-taking. So that's about it. Goodbye. Sayonara.